Good morning class. Now today I am going to explain you theme for unit 4 and it is nervous system. We have already studied the various systems of our body like digestive system, circulatory system. These systems are controlled by two different systems of our body and these two different systems are endocrine system and nervous system. Endocrine system controls the different system of our body by secreting the chemicals. That chemicals are called hormones. While nervous system controls the system, other different system by using the nerve cells, by sending or conveying the messages through the nerve cells. So, nerve cell is the specialized cell of nervous system and it is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. So, before learning the nervous system, it becomes necessary to know the structure of neuron. This is the largest cell of our body because it is in fibrous form, and this is the structure of neuron. It divides into two parts, cytonic part and axonic part, cellular part and fibrous part. The cellular part of the nerve cell is called cyton, and the fibers are coming out from the cyton, from the centrally located cyton of the nerve cells outside, and these fibers are called dendron. And the function of this dendron is to convey the message to other neuronic cell through the dendron of other neuron cell. And this is the axon. Axon is the longest fiber of the nerve cell, and its function is to convey the message from cyton to the other neuron, to the dendron of other neuron in the form of electric impulses. This is all about the structure of neuron cell. There are three parts: dendron, cyton and axon. Dendrons are the fibers coming out from the cyton, and cyton is the centrally located part of the nerve cell, and axon is the extended fiber which is coming out through the nerve cell, through the cyton. Is called axon. Axon is insulated with the myelinated sheath. This myelinated sheath acts as an insulator. It prevents the mixing of messages of one neuron to other neuron. This is the function of myelin sheath. All axons are covered by myelin sheath and it prevents the mixing of message of one neuron cell to other neuron cell. So that axon is covered by the myelin sheath, and each axon ends in a end. That end is called terminal, axonic terminals. And the second neuron starts from here. Like this. This second neuron, whenever the two neuron cells touch to each other, there is always a small gap between the two neurons, and that gap is called synapse. This gap between the two neurons is called synapse. And we all know that messages or senses coming in the form of electric waves, and through the electric waves impulses traveling here and reaches to the axon terminal of the first neuron, and as the impulses reaching to the axon terminal, a neurotransmitter, a chemical called neurotransmitter start released, and it induces the message to dendron of the other neuronic cell that is placed just below the first neuron cell. Suppose the electric impulses, the senses traveling in the form of electric impulses from the axon to the axonic terminal. As the senses reaches to the terminal, the neurotransmitter released, and that neurotransmitter induces the message from one neuron cell to the dendron of other neuron cell. message travels from one neuron cell to other neuron cell. Never the two neuron cells touch to each other. There is always a gap between the two neuron cells, and that gap is called synapse. And the gap, that point of junction is called synapse, and that gap is called synaptic gap. This is all about the neuron structure of neuron cell. Now there are three types of neuron cells. First is the sensory neuron. Sensory neuron. The function of sensory neuron is to convey the message from the skin, glands or muscles to the brain. This is the function of sensory neuron. It conveys the message, it conveys the stimulus from the skin, nerves or from the skin, glands, muscles or any organs of the body to the brain. The second is the motor neuron. The function of the motor neuron is to convey the message from the brain to the skin, glands, muscles or any other organs of the body. This is the function of sensory and motor neuron. Now the third is the association neuron. Association neuron is the function of this neuron is to mixing the message of sensory neuron to the motor neuron, conveying the message from the sensory to the motor or to the motor, from the motor to the sensory neuron. This is called the association neuron. In this way there are three types of neurons: sensory neuron, motor neuron and association neuron. This is all about the structure of neuron and the types of neuron and the function of neuron or nerve cell. Now, human nervous system. Central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system is again divided into two parts: brain. In central nervous system we have to study about the brain and spinal cord. And peripheral nervous system we have to study about the, it again divides into two parts: autonomous nervous system and somatic nervous system. Autonomous nervous system and somatic nervous system. In this way, our human nervous system is divided into two parts: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. And central nervous system, we have to study about the brain and spinal cord, while in peripheral nervous system we have to study about the nerves, and these are the nerves concerned with the autonomic nervous system and the somatic nervous system. This is all about the types of neurons. Now let's start with the central nervous system with brain. We all know that our brain is covered in a bony-like structure, and then bone is called skull. Our brain is covered by a skull. The function of the skull is to provide the protection to the brain. Now the brain is again divides into three parts. First is the cerebrum. Second is the cerebellum. And third is the medulla oblongata. In this way, our brain is divided into three parts: cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Cerebrum. is the largest part of our brain. It divides into two parts, and these two parts are called hemisphere, left hemisphere and right hemisphere. In this way, our cerebrum is divided into two parts, and these two parts are called right and left hemispheres. And these hemispheres are joined with a fiber, and that fiber is called corpus callosum. And cerebrum, the arrangement of the nerves in cerebrum is like this. Our cerebrum is divided into two layers, cortical layer and medullary layer. The outer layer is called cortex and the inner layer is called medulla. In cortical layer, the cytone part of the nerve cell is present, and in medulla, the axon part of the nerve cell is present. So, the outer part of the cerebrum is grey matter because cytones are grey in color. So, the outer part of the cerebrum is grey, called grey matter, while the inner part or medullary part of the cerebrum is called white matter. In this way, the cytones and axons are present in our cerebrum. And the main function of the cerebrum is the thinking, reasoning, intelligence. These are the some functions, communication and the senses. All the lobes, optical lobes means to see a person, to recognize a person, to hear, auditory nerves and to smell. All the sense organs, lobes are present in our cerebrum, so that it is very large in size. And the cerebrum is also responsible for the thinking, reasoning and emotions, to study the languages and to speech. These functions are controlled by the cerebrum. So, cerebrum is very important part of our brain. Now, the next is the cerebellum. Cerebellum is the very smallest part of our brain, and it is present beneath the cerebrum, just below the cerebrum. And this cerebellum controls our body. All the functions that is imagined by the cerebrum is completed by the cerebellum. So, cerebellum controls our muscular activity. All the muscular activity is controlled by the cerebellum. And cerebellum is the part of the brain that is responsible for balancing our body. We are always in balancing form because of the muscular activity controlled by the cerebellum. This is the function of cerebellum. We all know that cerebrum is divided into two parts in this way. Two hemispheres. These two parts are called two hemispheres. And these two hemispheres are joined by the fiber, and that fiber is called corpus callosum. It is not given in your book, but I explained you that these two hemispheres are joined by the corpus callosum. This is about the cerebrum and cerebellum. Now the last part of our brain is the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is the last part of our brain, and it is present just behind. And it continues with the spinal cord. All the involuntary action of our body is controlled by the medulla oblongata, like breathing, swallowing, digestion, beating of heart. All the involuntary actions of our internal organs is controlled by the medulla oblongata. So, if the medulla oblongata get damaged, then the person, it causes death of a person. So, medulla oblongata is very important part of our brain, and because it controls all the involuntary actions of internal organs of our body. This is all about the brain. In brain, we have to study about the cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. their structure and their function. Now the next part of central nervous system is the spinal cord. Like skull, we all know that brain is protected in the skull. Same way, spinal cord is protected in our backbone, and that is called the vertebral column. So, spinal cord, the arrangement of the nerve cell in spinal cord is just opposite to the cerebrum. In this, the grey matter is present in the outer layer, while the white matter present in the inner layer. But in spinal cord, white matter present outer side and grey matter present inside. So, this is the arrangement of the nerve cell in the spinal cord. In this, white matter surrounds the grey matter, while in cerebrum, grey matter surrounds the white matter. Spinal cords are the function of spinal cord extends from the medulla oblongata to the tailbone of our body. That is called the lumbar region of our body. So, our back side of a person is completely filled with surrounded by the spinal cord. In our vertebral column, spinal nerves are present. So, the main function of the spinal cord is to convey the message of our all body organs to the brain and from the brain to the organs of our body. So, very important part of the central nervous system is the spinal cord. It conveys the message from our whole body part to the brain and from brain to the whole body parts. This is the spinal cord. The next, one more function of spinal cord is that it controls the reflexes. Now, what is reflexes? Reflexes are the immediate action that are taken by a person. Reflexes means, suppose we touch a hot pot, suddenly we remove our hand from that hot pot. This is called the reflex. Immediate action we are taken and to protect ourselves, and this is called the reflexes. In this action, involvement of brain is not there. No brain involvement is there. This action is controlled only by the spinal cord. This is called the reflexes, and so the reflexes is also controlled by the spinal cord. This is all about the central nervous system. We will meet with the next video with peripheral nervous system. Till then, thank you.